During today's program, Donald Trump made a sharp statement toward Europe, saying they should go to the Strait of Hormuz and take the oil themselves. Tensions escalated further as France was directly threatened. Spain's Defence Minister Margarita Robles declared the war illegal and confirmed that Spain will not support the United States. Meanwhile, Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico raised another key issue within the EU, arguing that sanctions decisions may be unfair and reminding that any changes require unanimous approval from all 27 member states. As NATO and the European Union face growing internal divisions, casualties continue to rise in Lebanon. Is the world heading toward a major war, or is this just the beginning?
Countries like the UK should go to Strait of Hormuz and just take fuel, Trump says. In a post on Truth Social, the US President, Donald Trump, has suggested that countries like the UK should build up the courage to go to the Strait of Hormuz and just take fuel. You'll have to start learning how to fight for yourself. The USA won't be there to help you anymore, just like you weren't there for us, Trump said, as he criticized countries who refused to get involved in the decapitation of Iran. He said these countries could buy jet fuel from the US, where there is plenty, if they are running low on supplies. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done. Go get your own oil, Trump concluded his social media post by saying. More details soon. France very unhelpful with Iran, and US will remember that, Trump says in his latest outburst on social media. In a post on Truth Social, he said, the country of France wouldn't let planes headed to Israel loaded up with military supplies fly over French territory. France has been very unhelpful with respect to the butcher of Iran, who has been successfully eliminated. The USA will remember. President DJT. The Lebanese Health Ministry said yesterday that 9 people had been killed and 137 others injured in Israeli attacks on Lebanon over the past day. It said the latest figures brought the death toll from Israeli attacks since 2 March to 1,247, with 3,680 other people reported injured.
Margarita Robles, the Spanish defense minister, has reiterated her country's commitment to NATO and multilateralism, saying that the US and Israel can't be the ones who, without anyone's support, not even of their allies, decide what type of rules or peace apply in the world. Spain's Defence Minister Margarita Robles waits for the start of a meeting of the North Atlantic Council in Defence Ministers format at NATO headquarters in Brussels late last year. Spain's Defence Minister Margarita Robles waits for the start of a meeting of the North Atlantic Council in Defence Ministers format at NATO headquarters in Brussels late last year. AP speaking to Congress, she said, we are faced with a scenario that the government defines as a war that runs contrary to international law and to which our response has been firm and consistent. Our position is supported by the majority of people, and not just Spanish but European, she added. Defending the decision to deny the U.S. use of its bases in Spain to pursue the war, she said the prohibition applied exclusively to the war on Iran. This decision absolutely doesn't imply a break with our transatlantic links. The bases continue to function. Spain feels no obligation to join an illegal war whose objectives, 30 days into the conflict, have yet to be defined, she said. No one knows what will happen with this war, Robles said. 2 countries went to war and expected us to join them, adding that we don't accept lectures from anyone in regard to our commitment to peace.
Fico says sanctions lists can be only amended with support of all countries, argues there are weak legal cases. But the Slovak Prime Minister, Robert Fico, was much less critical of Hungary, stressing to reporters that any decision to remove someone from the sanctions list requires a unanimous agreement of all member states. He sidestepped the question on the tone of the alleged conversation between Hungary's foreign minister, Péter Szijjártó, and his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, focusing on what he sees as a broader issue with the accuracy of the sanctions list. He recalled that a Slovak citizen, Josef Hambalik, was briefly listed too, and being on that list completely destroyed his life. even though it was blindingly obvious there was no reason for him to be on that list. The EU originally said that he was the president of the Europe chapter of the nationalist motorcycle club Nightwolves MC, based in Slovakia, alleging his close links to Vladimir Putin and that his ongoing activities, which allegedly include training Nightwolves members for active combat in Ukraine on his properties and actively promoting pro-Russian propaganda in Europe, can be deemed as a security threat for Ukraine and the EU. He was later removed from the list in 2024. Fico said that because Slovakia was the first to raise this issue and speak about the so-called weak legal cases, others started reaching out to us, and he received representations from Turkey and other presidents in Central Asia. He continued, "It must be stated very clearly, to remove someone from the sanctions list, you need the agreement of all 27 EU member states. Therefore, you cannot accuse anyone of being a Russian agent. If you do, you would have to accuse all 27 member states of being Russian agents for agreeing to a decision, such as the one in the past regarding the sister of the well-known businessman Usmanov, reportedly discussed between Hungary and Russia. So the explanation for the whole story is simple. All 27 member states must agree. It is impossible to accuse anyone here of doing favors or overstepping."
This was 24 Hours in America, our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and healthy.